baby, baby, baby. Here's why Steve Nash was gone. Kevin Durant did not want to play with Steve Nash another season. He wanted Sean Marks gone for not getting rid of his boy, Steve Nash. And the ownership decided to ride it out with Steve Nash and say, look, you guys got to work this out. We're going to make some changes. It's not going to be like it was the previous 2 seasons. You've blown 2 seasons already, and they were starting to blow this season. Starting right off on the wrong foot. Now, we got to talk about this. Because there's so many people in the world right now who never knew or understood what it was on the table. What were the possibilities? What was everything that was going on right now in the industry? My goodness, what are they doing to my channel right now? They are really screwing my channel up. Did you just see this? So right before they play the Chicago Bulls, right? They play the Bulls tonight. And you know I had to rep Brooklyn because the right decision was made tonight. Oh yeah, the power returned tonight to the rightful place. Kevin Durant has been pleading for this man to be fired. Not Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving totally agrees with Kevin Durant, but this is a Kevin Durant situation. And this is where him and Steve Marks fell out. Because they're like, Nash ain't the problem. Now, here's the reason that Nash was fired. Defensively, the Brooklyn Nets are one of the worst teams in the NBA. Seriously, defensively, they're god-awful. They have blown the most biggest leads in 7 games. In each game, they have double-digit leads, and they blow them. Last night was another prime example. They got a win barely against Indiana after blowing a almost 20-point lead. If it was 20, I think it was 20. They blew the entire lead, is in another dogfight, and almost lost another winnable game. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know that is a terrible look for a team that's supposed to be vying for a championship. Things aren't going in the right direction. It's looking just like the year before and the year prior. But 2 years ago, y'all were in the top defensive team when you had Ime Udoka as your assistant coach. The Brooklyn Nets defense was 3 times what it was. And what you're looking at right now. Now, the team wants Udoka to be the coach as Kevin Durant does, as he was the coach in Team USA. He knew how to defend Kevin Durant and all of the things they needed to do surprise traps that he didn't recognize or see coming because he coached Kevin Durant. He knew how to put something in place to stop him when he played for the Boston Celtics. This is how they were able to get the sweep over them. They had the secret weapon. Now, he knows Nash is illiterate when it comes to defense. This is why the D'Antoni system is what he comes from. This is why D'Antoni was over his shoulder. Mr. Pringles. So you got Mr. Pringles out there, you and him both, going over this, whatever you want to call it, team of yours. And for what? For what? Now, they run the D'Antoni system, which is offense. Your offense is your best defense. That works until you get to the playoffs. Then you got to play one team consistently. That one team make adjustments. This ain't playing one-time team. You get a win or loss and you head to the other team. They don't do that here. It's entirely different. Oh, finally got rid of Nash. They didn't finally get rid of Nash. You know what they did? They did what they should have did from the very beginning. Put Nash where he was supposed to be. Steve Nash having outbursts on the court and all that because he's frustrated. So they didn't want to embarrass their buddy Steve. All this is friends looking out for friends. They didn't want to embarrass Steve. So to not embarrass Steve, let's go ahead and we don't want to embarrass Steve. He's a good friend of ours. So instead of embarrassing Steve, let's go ahead and let's say this. No, that'd be embarrassing to Steve. Let's say this is a mutual decision. Yeah, I want to walk away from my job. I want to walk away from my job that pays me $1 million a year. Yeah, I think it's time I leave and do something else. Like, I don't know, golf. You see how they lie to you? They want to do anything to make everybody else feel good. But Ime Udoka or anybody brother like Jacques Vaughn, who should have been the coach, but nah. Now he the interim coach tonight. This is why the Celtics, they suspended Ime Udoka instead of firing him. So everybody was like, well, why you got to keep him on your payroll? You suspended him, so you got to pay him half his salary. Because they don't want him going to the net. They don't want him nowhere near the Brooklyn deal. They don't want him going back to the Nets. They know the Nets want him. Now, they want to do a trade with the Boston Celtics for Ime Udoka. Because you can't keep him. That's for one. Now, when it looked like he didn't have a job to go to, he's got a job now. And it's in Brooklyn. Brooklyn don't care what you do. They be like, man, look, you can bang any of these hoes up in here. And if any of them have anything to say, come to me. I'll take care of that. We should have fired Nash and made you the head coach and never let you go to Boston. Kevin Durant wants him to be the coach. That's why. Well, you got to understand there's a lot of different people in the world who have different views. Kyrie Irving has nothing to do with this, but they were looking at Kyrie Irving. Remember when this first thing hit? Kyrie was the guy. Yeah, the Nets and Celtics rivalry get weirder every day because the situations change. Kevin Durant was frustrated yesterday. Last night, even on the road, Kevin Durant was gonna sit out tonight's game, just tired and frustrated. They had an argument on the sideline and in the locker room last night. Kevin Durant didn't even want to talk to Nash. He went to the assistant coach Vaughn and said some words, and then that was it. It was very short with Nash. So I'm quite sure he talked to Joe Tsai, and decision was made that Nash, who never should have had the job anyway, had no experience whatsoever in being a head coach. They just threw him in there. There's a reason why he was just a shooting coach working for these teams. They wanted to keep him working and give him a job or something to do in the sport and in the game, which is fine. If you want to give that to Steve Nash, that's fine. But to put Steve Nash in there as a head coach with no type of assistant experience of being an assistant head coach, it was a slap in the face to everybody who was African American who had done this job. You have basically shown the world once again when you talk about how you guys were so Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, but they couldn't get employment. It was clear he was inept at his job, but that didn't matter. He was one of the boys. He's Sean Marks' friend. So this is why Kevin Durant was requesting Sean Marks and Nash get out of here. So Marks, to protect his own job, had to make a decision on Nash right now. As Josiah is seeing, the team is in flux defensively, and they want Ime Udoka as quick as possible and try to make a trade for him with Boston to get him back home because Boston can't keep him. So even if they keep Jacques Vaughn for the rest of the season, next year you got Ime Udoka. He's gonna be a Brooklyn Net coach. He's gonna be in Brooklyn, and they will provide and pour. They'll have a dump truck full of hoes, just dumping the truck right on his porch every night to keep him happy, if that's what he needs. Brooklyn, look, they can care less. You can have any hoe you want. Ho, ho, ho. You think they care about that? They want to win a championship. They don't want the Knicks going to the playoffs, doing anything. It's supposed to be about Brooklyn. Kevin Durant got him fired. He got himself fired. He shouldn't have been employed. Kevin Durant shouldn't have had to fire him. He shouldn't have been employed. Not as the head coach. Now, if I need somebody to bring me a towel or something after I sit down, then yeah, that's Nash. I'll be Nash. Hey, thanks for the towel, Nash. I'm noticing your shot. It was like this. So when they hired Steve Nash, he gave his okay to it. Like, all right, cool. You know, it ain't no thing. Because Nash was the guy he was familiar with. But that's what they were saying, like, with Kyrie Irving, like, there is no head coach. We got a committee now. It's not like one guy. It's like we're all coaches out there. That's to let you know how much respect they have for the head coach. It's like we're all coaches. You're a coach, I'm a coach. We're all coaches here. There's no problem. Hey, coach. Everyone's a coach. We coach by committee. No. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by pleasantries. See, pleasantries fool people at times. Yeah, making that video this morning was something I never intended to do in life. Could not believe that happened. Rest in peace to that young man. 28. But I don't even want to go back to that, man. But I do want to say this, man. TMZ, YouTube, I know YouTube is cracked down, but social media, period, like Instagram, Twitter, y'all got all this technology. But y'all let all of these people come out and show people laying down that's deceased. When does that become cool? To show somebody deceased laying out on the streets, or having a video of somebody laying out dead, going up with a camera, recording that. The mindset of somebody like that. You know why they do that? Because they know they're going to get money for it. Somebody going to pay them, or they're going to get a whole bunch of views. They don't even get paid, some of these people. They don't even know how to get paid from it. They'll sit there and just videotape it just so they can say, that's my video. I'm getting all these views. I got like 600,000 views. Of filming somebody else's body. Now they family got to see that and be all broken up. People get, man, you call so much action to happen in the streets just off people enraged. They see that, man, I couldn't, man, that hurts me listening to that. Because once a video when mine went off, they played a video of Quavo screaming. I just felt that in my chest, my heart. I didn't even want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to experience any of that. But because I have a soul and I have morals, I already know that's the wrong thing to do. You'll never see me filming a dead body or putting that picture up there of them deceased. I couldn't do that. That's foolery. But I don't want to go back to that. Let's go back to Nash and go back to KD, baby, getting it done. KD said, I'm going to get this done. Well, Jacquez Vaughn is the acting coach now, and he's probably going to have this job for the year or to see, who they're going to get down the line. I mean, they could get another coach A lot of people think it's going to be Ime Udoka. That's the person it should be. That was the last time as a defensive unit they were where they needed to be defensively as a team, and they have not had that identity since he left. They fall to the floor. Most of that have to do with personnel as well. So if you don't have the personnel, then I don't understand how you gonna be there. I really don't. Now, I don't understand it. It always broke my heart to see basketball not played the right way, but that's what got Nash fired. They was giving Nash the opportunity because even at the end of this season, after what happened with Ime Udoka and what was happening there, they were going to do things the Kevin Durant way. Joe Tsai had promised that this was an evaluational season for Steve Nash. Because Kevin Durant got 4 more years on his contract. So when he was saying he's requesting a trade, and he want out too, after Sean Marks seems to be breaking all of his rules, Sean Marks is now on the clock. So he better hope he can get Ime Udoka in there. He can get all of this turned around because he going to be out the door. Because after this season, Kyrie's a free agent. He can go to any team he wants. And for Joe Tsai to put out that statement about him being anti-Semitic and all this, he's trying to ruin Kyrie Irving and lower his value. You see, a lot of people don't see that. We never got into that yet because that's going to be on the Patreon. But this is a dirty tactic, business-wise, that was done. That was a horrible business practice they chose to do there. We have the most explosive thing probably ever posted on the Patreon right now about Michael Jordan's father and the lies that the Jordan family has been keeping about all of this to protect Michael Jordan's image. That's on the Patreon right now. Oh, buddy, you got to go to the Patreon and see. It's shocking. I'm just saying, it's a lot of children out here with no fathers, but they know if you see somebody jumping out the gym with skills like Mike, you be like, wait a minute, who's your daddy? It ain't Mike. Might have been James. But it's some shocking news. And y'all gonna want to check that out. What else we got cooking on the Patreon today? Might not be today, but this month. You're gonna learn about Tia and Tamara. Tia and Tamara. Mary-Kate and Ashley. Or should have been. Mary-Kate and Ashley worth about $1 billion. Even while they got older, Tia and Tamara, they ain't get nothing. And oh, buddy, the dark secrets that lie there. And we'll go into little bits and pieces as we're gonna talk about. I might do the YouTube video to talk and explain why this marriage that she had didn't work out after all these years. Know a few details, just a few. Just a few. Tia and Tamara, my cousin, resembles one of them, So, and she lives with them. We always used to call her Tia and Tamara and everything else. Now she works with them. Well, not work with them, but she works out there near them, and she's friends with them, and she works in that industry out in Cali. So, my cousin, who works for ASCAP and used to work for ASCAP for years, now she does other work. Her husband is an actor in the industry. You've seen him in commercials, on TV shows. And I'll be, there's my cuz out there making it happen. Now, here's the thing. We used to call her Tia and Tamara. We said, hey, Tia and Tamara, you look just like sister. So she actually met them out there and they took a picture together and they talked and everything. I'm not saying they best of friends, but they know each other. Her husband knows her husband. And, people just in that industry seem to speak to one another. That's all. But when you see my video, it's no indictment on my cousin. Okay, she didn't tell me anything about them. So we'll X her out of it. Let's just say I know a few things. Just to show you, that was just an example to show you how small the world is. As big as you think it is, people are connected to people and you don't even know. Now, getting into these situations is always a bad deal. It is a bad look for people when you start talking about changing teams, because now you're looking at, okay, we're changing the team around, but why? Why will we be changing the team around? Because defensively, it's an attitude you have to take on. Now, the Brooklyn Nets defense was up when Ime Udoka was there because he actually coaches defense. When they get on defense, he knows where guys are supposed to be. So you'll see Ime Udoka telling them where to be on the floor. If you go back and watch any old Brooklyn Net game, you see Ime Udoka get up and tell them where they're supposed to be. Hey, there, you, now, go. He's coaching the team and telling them where they're supposed to be, where they're supposed to be set up. This is what you're supposed to do. A lot of people don't know the Chicago Bulls, one of their assistant coaches who was known for his defense was Johnny Bach. Rest in peace, Johnny Bach. Johnny Bach was the defensive master lock. And all he wanted was to have the horses. He's old school. I need my Dobermans. That's what he called Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. His Dobermans. I need my Doberman pinchers out there on the front of the yard, ready to play some defense. When you two Doberman pigeons are out there, those Doberman pitchers are out there, those gonna change the game. So, no, Johnny Bach is not Johnny Red Kerr. Johnny Red Kerr was the announcer. But Johnny Bach was the defensive master lock. So he called them Dobermans because that's the dogs he would explain in the camps when they go in there watching film, what Dobermans do, the history of Dobermans. He was a Doberman pincher type of guy. And that's what Scotty and Michael Jordan was to him. Two Doberman pinchers. So I believe he had two Doberman pinchers at home. Hit the like button, good people. Well, it's personnel. It really lies and starts with Steve. But front office, Sean Marks has made some mistakes. And when you make those mistakes, they cost you down the line. As a team, it reflects back on you. So when you start making these ill-advised decisions, you start to realize what type of a brand you actually have on the floor. And if you want to waste this season, because this will be your last season having Kyrie Irving, unless you can come up with a deal that's pleasing to him. All right, so you want to maximize this season. You want to keep Kevin Durant happy. You don't want Kevin Durant leaving the team. Kyrie Irving was ready to play last season, and because of the state of New York making a decision which was ruled in court to be unlawful now. That was a decision that was rendered in court, and that the state has to pay all those people who missed work, as it was proven that C19 is not, there's no definitive way saying it prevents you from catching it. It doesn't. They have no record of saying this prevents it. Because as you've seen, people have had it once, twice, boosters, and still got it. Right? So they didn't post or promote that in New York. They won. The people who were out of work because of this have to be paid. That's right. They have to be paid. Yeah, Jared Allen was huge. Losing that presence in the middle to bring over James Harden, which ended up that crippled the Brooklyn Nets. Bringing over James Harden crippled the Brooklyn Nets. And he was only there a couple months before he was off to 76ers. Where I don't know what happened with Joel Embiid, man. Jesus, it's like he fell off a cliff. They played 10 times better with him not even playing at all. It was like he was in the way. So if I'm trusting the process, I'm trying to move and be. I mean, really. I mean, he's slowing your game down. He wants to shoot threes. He don't want to be a big guy inside. You're in trouble. You are in trouble. That guy ain't ready for the next step. So it seems like you had two Ben Simmons on the team, two beta males. Because to me, that's what it looks like. Two beta males don't know what in the hell they doing. Now, here's the thing. This is why the Boston Celtics never fired Ime Udoka. Yeah, they didn't want that trouble. Hold on. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Yeah. I need two hands to do it. Bringing in the trash. Now, people can say what they want. They can move how they want to move. Everything that they say and do. The Boston Celtics do not want to help. They do not want to help out the Brooklyn Nets. And they don't want Udoka going back over there. But you know you can't keep Udoka on that team. Y'all gonna have to make a decision, and soon. So how long was Ime Udoka's suspension? 1 year, right? Didn't they suspend him for 1 year? Did they suspend him for 1 year? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking. The NBA has not punished him. It was an in-house decision by organization. There's no criminal charges against Ime Udoka because it was a consensual relationship that turned into harassment or whatever. So they just said, all right, look, no police is involved. This is an in-house matter. So they decided to suspend him rather than fire him. Because if he was fired, then Nash should have been fired and they would have had Udoka in there effective immediately. And the Celtics knew that and said, oh, hell no, you not finna come play against us after you done effed up my staff. So they're going to hold on to him for this season, and then hopefully it's quiet enough they can make a decision. They want to keep him, but it's going to be hard to keep him. And the girl still works there. She still works for the Celtics organization. So you can't keep him there and her there. So he got to go. So now when he's gone to another team, this is what you left with. The Brooklyn 7. It's what 7 want. Y'all give it to LeBron. Why Kyrie Irving and why do Kevin Durant got to fight for what they should already have? Right? So now the scenario changes, doesn't it? Now the scenario has changed around yet again. And what may that scenario be, good people? All we need is Ime Udoka. No, you need Udoka who knows the personnel he needs to have in order to make it work. See, there's a reason why the Boston Celtics became one of the top defensive teams in the league. When you got somebody like Robert Williams out there on your team, you know how valuable he is to your team defensively. And having him at 100% means everything in the world to y'all moving forward. Having guys like Marcus Smart who understands the defensive set and the system that you put in place, who can go out there and implement it and coach it. These type of things are what you call invaluable to the actual rule of thumb, to the actual plan that's on the table. You know what I'm saying? So you want that working for you, not against you. So bringing in Udoka, he's going to know the people he got to trade for or guys he's going to need who can coach while on the court.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyrie. Thanks, Kyrie.
Yep. They wore some shirts to try to throw Kyrie off. Talking about some fight anti-sentimentalism. Do you know that being anti-sentimental, being anti pretty much anything at that point, do you know what that details? Do you know what Semitic is? So if you're anti-Semitic, that means you're anti all Semitic people. Jewish people aren't the only Semitic people in the world. So when you say stuff like that, it's just being dismissive. When you're just using one word to try to simplify everything that somebody says. Oh, Ticket TV said they hired Nets hired Ime Udoka. I don't think they've hired him. No.
Like they hosted the Bucks.
No. No. He didn't put pressure on them to fire Steve Nash because the whole situation was Kyrie Irving is not putting pressure on them to do anything. He's staying out of controversy. Kevin Durant wanted Nash gone. He wants Sean Marks gone for protecting Steve Nash. He doesn't believe in any of them. He's only there because of Joe Tsai. That's why Kevin Durant signed, not because of Sean Marks. Kevin Durant on this season is averaging 33 points a game. But you're going to burn him out. You're going to burn Kevin Durant out. Vince Carter, 2006, 2007 season. People forgot how dominant Vince was that year. And Kevin Durant patterned his game a lot after Vince Carter. Vince Carter was who he looked up to a lot when he was younger. No, he just gives his opinions, where the team is and where it's going. And when he talks to the owner, then the owner will talk to Sean Marks. He doesn't want to talk to Sean because he knows. How I'm gonna get through to you to listen when your boy is who we talking about? Nash is Steve Marks, Sean Marks' boy. He tried talking to Sean Marks about Nash. And it's nothing personal with Nash. It's just that he don't think Nash is the guy to get the job done. And he got to be the bad guy. But it's not like Kevin Durant's the only one that feels that way. But he's the captain of the team. Guys have looked lost out there on the court. You've seen it. He's just different. I wouldn't say Kyrie's a weirdo. He's spiritual. Like he really lives that life. He ain't just saying that because he read an article. Well, if LeBron James had put that same tweet up that Kyrie Irving did, LeBron would have made a statement, took it down or whatever, and that'd have been that, right? He didn't promote anything. He didn't say anything. But yet, they want to target him. They just lost to Indiana in the most embarrassing way. It was completely no defense out on the court. They're scoring points, but they're losing. I need more water. Oh no, that guy, what's his name? Benedict Mathurin or whatever his name is? That dude had like 30 points. He hit like 6 threes and had 5 rebounds. They were out rebounding them on the offensive glass like double digits when they played Indiana the first time. And they was running around here 1-5. Oh, I'm betting Brooklyn tonight. They playing the Bulls. You see, I'm ready for the game. I'm ready for the game. Oh, we might do a stream, y'all.
How else do you say it? I mean, I didn't see the will, didn't see the desire, or the connectivity necessary to get stops and get rebounds.
Following up on that, I mean, you're usually in here. 2 questions very quickly. What was the message that you were imparting to the team after?
That was it. You know, we just got to make a bigger commitment. It's got to mean more. We got to care more.
And obviously, you've talked repeatedly about, you know, making sure that the team is staying together and not pulling away from the game plan defensively. I mean, are you worried that somehow your message is just simply not getting through? I know you're repeating it. Are you concerned that they're not hearing it?
No, they're hearing it. I mean, they're arguing with each other about missing coverages and a lack of communication out there. So, you know, just too many errors on top of lack of effort at times. And, you know, sometimes you just, it's not even about schemes, it's about fighting. You know, whether it's, you know, any defense, if you're letting a guy run in and grab an offensive rebound unopposed, I mean, it's hard to get stops. You know, they're just going to get 2 or 3 chances at the basket.
Coach, where do you guys go from here?
We have to look deep inside ourselves and what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. You know, do we want to give up on this because it's been difficult early? or do we want to stay the course and start to build something? We've had a lot of really good days here early in the season, and we've lost a couple games, and it's shook our mentality hard, and we're not seeing the same competitive spirit, same purpose, and if we don't clean that up, it's not going to get better. That's the only way to get out of difficult positions is to have character and competitive spirit.
And he's right, but they shut down on you. They haven't quit on the game. They quit on you. See, that's the difference. See, everybody's ignoring that fact. That's the fact. They quit on you. They said, we don't want you as our coach. We don't want Steve Nash. What's up, Cool Eagle? Yeah, hit the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the page if you're new here. I ain't do all that pleasantry, and we about an hour in. Everybody in here didn't found it because they just happen to be online because they ain't sending out nothing. They ain't sending out nothing. People be like, I ain't know you was live, Cino. Yep, my cash app is still Carcino. That $ KARCEN. You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Didn't Nets win? Yeah, they won. But it was how they won. They had a 20-some point lead. Then they lose the whole lead and they go down to 2 and they barely won. They really lost. Watching them blow that lead last night was terrible. No effort. You're not going to win. You want to go through that for the whole season, you're going to have people like Kevin Durant shutting down and Kyrie's gone next season, and you won't have Kevin Durant demanding a trade. He's like, I just happened to see you was live. I wasn't counting on the notification. That's what you got to do, unfortunately. A lot of people said Ben Simmons got him fired because Ben is not committed to the team, really. He's into his mind and blowing assignments out there, and he's just there for the check. Hey, salute to Benedict Maturin. He had a big game against Brooklyn the other night. But this night, he had 16 points, still 2 threes. Maturin is the reason why the Pacers are going to move some other players. Then Benedict Maturin will be moved himself to another team. The Pacers are just a farm system. I wouldn't even go to a Pacer game unless I'm watching something else. They will, if they are winning, they will tank the season. They have no desire to want to win an NBA championship. When they lost to the Bucks, that was unacceptable. 93-94 Derek Comer. Before knee injuries took him out of it. DC was averaging about 28 points a game in the 90s. When that was a feat. um, John Starks took them out of the playoffs. They had Kenny Anderson in DC. He was setting up DC. They was running the tables early. Vince Carter, like I told you, that 2006, 2007 season with the Nets, he was doing his thing. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving was coming out, starting the season off, heating the court up. Kevin Durant and Luka Doncic right now, it's like scoring is up times 10. You seeing everybody average, like Luka's been averaging 30s and 40s all season, and so is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is averaging 33 points a game. In 7 games, he's averaging 33 a night. That's gonna burn him out. What's up, Felton? Ain't seen you in a minute. You mean like LeBron's overrated? That what you trying to say? A Luka Doncic hater or a LeBron James fan? Oh, that's an oxymoron. Well, it had to be done. The team is no longer responding to you. You are a mess. You said LeBron year 15 is greater than Luka's year 5. I don't get it. Because it clearly isn't. Mm. No. He had to score that many. So at least Nash went out on a winning note. Steve Nash should have never been the coach. That's where y'all got that wrong. He should have never been the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Ime Udoka should have been the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. But Steve Nash has got a name. Nobody knew Ime Udoka. They need a splash. Plus, Sean Marks' homeboy is Steve Nash. So that year they was hot and they went to the playoffs that year and lost to the Bucks because Kevin Durant had his foot on the line. That season, Nash got a bunch of credit for Ime Udoka actually coaching the team. Yeah, that season that got Ime Udoka hired. Seeing, because they know who's coaching. Believe me, the players and the teams and they don't look at they know who coaching the team. This is how he got hired. They saw him what he did with Team USA. They knew he was the coach for Team USA. They know who's really coaching and who's not. Nash is the face. Soon as Ime Udoka left, defensively they went in the toilet. Then they lost Jared Allen. They lost their back line, and they was really done. They brought in James Harden, and they got all this offense. Defense is all on KD. KD can't guard two bigs. All the bigs now normally stretch fives. Like Miles Turner's trying to force a trade to LA. It's like so blatant. No, not really. We did go live when the Lakers won. When the Lakers won, we went live. We talked about it and everything. It's in the timeline. What you talking about? Girl, I only see you talk when the Lakers won. We did. See, you just didn't see it. Don't mean it didn't happen. I know. My fantasy football, I haven't won one game this year. I'm tired of losing by like 1 point, 2 points, a fraction of a point. I have not won one game. Now I'm just playing spoiler. That's just it. Now, every time my player's been hurt, no, John Clares really wasn't the one that was terrible. I think he's a good coach. I just think that the makeup of a winner Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's like every week it's a fluke. I got Claypool. Now he finna go somewhere when he never getting the ball. Chicago. I'm like, Jesus, I can't win for lose, man. Ben Simmons, he's lost a lot of muscle. It seems like he's playing himself into shape. And in the course of that, that's a Sharon Marks decision. This dude is so emotional. And they talking about Kevin Durant. No, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons will sit there and definitely slow the team down to a crawl. Zion Williamson against the Lakers, him and LeBron. Zion, oh man, there's no way for him to hide. He's not going to guard Zion. LeBron's going to guard Valanciunas. But here's the thing about guarding Valanciunas, he could score. Then they come in, the Pelicans come in with Nash Jr., who's another mobile five. So you have guys that move. They don't sit still. No, I went outside and came back in. Allergies got hit right away. Well, the personnel they got is young. They're not committed to defense. They don't know how to get a body on somebody for the offensive boards. They don't know how to box out defensively. They got to be in position, seal people off so they can battle for the offensive. If you don't have that in you, then nobody really know what to tell you. They're allowing their opposition is scoring like 120. They're averaging, they got to outscore everybody in order to win. That's a problem. No, I didn't hear about that Ethiopian student that was found. I was hearing a lot of shocking news around the world in the past 2 days. When you see this team and you see the way they play, defensively and offensively, it's kind of awful to me to see them play with such a lackluster type of like commitment on defense. Now with Nash gone, will that change? Maybe. The Pacers got a squad. The Pacers got a team that should be vying for an NBA championship. Trust me, they do. So them wanting to get rid of Miles Turner, and I understand he want to leave, but why the hell would you want to leave this? You got Halliburton in there. You got Buddy Hield. You got the young kid that's dominating stuff that just came in there, who was lighting it up. Maybe he feels left out. Halliburton's got a quick release. And his quick release is something else. And you got to jump out on Halliburton, or he will drop that three right in your eye. Well, if you had your choice right now, if you're the Boston Celtics, you don't want to do that at all. Okay, they played Luka, right? In the Brooklyn Nets, right? They played Luka Doncic in the Dallas Mavericks. You got Claxton, you got KD, right? In that game, you saw a bunch of defensive collapses, not knowing what to do with Luka and not knowing what to do with the rest of the team. Everybody cared about offense. And this goes to Kyrie. This went to Kevin Durant. KD was in there battling. But miscommunications and personnel is the reason they lost. They had Patty Mills on switches and Kyrie Irving on switches guarding Luka Doncic. It's not a good decision. The Nets were winning in almost all these games, and they lose them down the stretch because of personnel and decisions. You see, Luka's too big for Kyrie Irving, and he's too big for Mills, Patty Mills. Now, Claxton's coming over, but now this is what happens when you add a slasher to your team, somebody that can get open, that got a little bit more height. Instead of having Brunson out there, now you got Dinwiddie, who definitely want to stick it to Brooklyn every chance he gets. See, Now, Luka Drew Claxton, he has Dinwiddie open if he wants, or he could just go up and muscle it in on Kyrie. He's too big. He thought he was going to get an one, he didn't. But still, it's the same method. As you come back down again, you see Luka's matched up on who? Patty Mills. He's backing him down from the 3-point line. Turns around, got a shot, up, dime. And who do you got? Somebody out of position guarding JaVale McGee, who's an athletic big. So Luka's able to bang this guy in because he's too small. So a lot of it is on Nash, and a lot of it is on guys not knowing where the help is coming in at or everything else on the court because they have a bunch of people out of place. So if you run Brooklyn through a lot of switches, they're going to be in trouble. They don't communicate enough. No, offensive rebounds and all that stuff, that comes in when people showing effort and want to commit to doing something. If you don't want to commit to offensive rebounding, you're not going to do it. Too many guys on the other side of the team are shooting wide open 3-point shots playing against the Brooklyn Nets. Offense isn't their problem. Defense. Well, there's a lot of different narratives in play, you know? No. Who could they get in a trade? There's a lot of players available. If they were able to get Miles Turner, that would turn a lot of things around for them defensively. Somebody that's committed to not just going offense, but some defense. Trade Ben Simmons, that would be my first thing to do. Is to trade Ben Simmons. He's got to go. Well, when you have people that were, well, you got people that are basically individuals, and when individuals make common decisions, you're faced with these realities here. So, not surprised. No, just not surprised. No, Seth Curry will be back. He's injured. So Seth Curry hasn't been playing. But he's not there for defensive purposes. So take for instance, I'm gonna show you. This is not being locked in. Dallas and Brooklyn go into overtime, right? They're at 112 apiece going to overtime. Now, let's take a look at overtime. I'm going to show you this. High pick and roll. You know where you're going to get it. Kyrie's guarding Luka, and he's right there at the half court line. The pick is being set. Watch this that happens. The pick is set. All right. He collapses. No communication. Luka drives. Pitches it out. Hardaway Jr. shoots. That's 3. Right? They get the ball again. Goes up top to Luka. Pick and roll. Same guy who don't seem to get it. Man fights through the pick. Kyrie Irving fights through the pick. Luka goes behind the back. That man right there, one again, leaves another wide open shooter for 3. Bang. Now you're down 6. Right? Here we go again. Very next play. 3 plays in a row. Pick and roll. Same guy. They're going to keep this guy in pick and roll because they're like, this dude is very stupid. Here we go. Here comes Luka on the pick and roll. Yet again, Kyrie fights through the pick. This man has dedicated himself. Ha! I'm ready, Luka. Luka's like, you damn dummy. I got these 2 again. 3 times in a row. Zip behind the back. Wide open 3. Splash. 9 straight points off of the same stupidity. The same stupidity. And you wonder why Nash was fired. How do you let that happen in overtime? Who the hell is that guy? Who's that guy? Who are you? Who's that guy? Well, Jeremy Lin's cousin need to get with the program.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I'm praying for a fight. I'm not literally waking up every morning and praying to see if I can fight. Who's that guy?
Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
Hi.
Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
Hey, fellas,
Who's
nice.
that guy? Who are you?
I'm nobody.
No, I know you. I know you. He was at that party with me, the one I was telling you about. No, is it? Remember? He's Jimmy's brother, the guy, the singer. He's the guy with the beautiful voice I was
Jimmy's brother.
Oh my God!
Sing, bro, sing.
Oh, it's not me?
No,
You fucking lying?
I don't mean to, accuse you guys of being ill-informed.
My brother came all the way from Scottsdale, Arizona to be here
Look at
tonight.
that.
And you're not gonna sing for him?
Fucking bullshit. You're a fucking singer.
You sing, and you sing good.
Good.
Sing it again.
Like a bird.
No, I know.
Like a bird. It's Jimmy's brother, the singer. Who's this guy? Oh man. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? Who is that guy? It's Jimmy's brother, the singer. Remember I told you I was at that party? Man, that is crazy because that is exactly how it goes. Jimmy's brother, the singer. Oh yeah, man, we've been going way too long, man. It's almost 5 o'clock. I gotta get ready for the game coming on today. Gotta go buy some snacks, get something to eat, go get something done, man. If y'all on the Patreon, the Carsino for Life Patreon, go to the Carsino for Life Patreon, learn about Michael Jordan's secrets that they've been keeping from all of you. Go learn it, and I know people were shocked when they saw it, but go check it out, and y'all gonna be blown, mind blown. You know, on the first, we hit everybody with upside the head. So, go on and do that. I'll hit y'all back later.